Getting pretty good at these masks. So this is day 3 of quarantine, at least for me. Other people have been on quarantine for much longer. Their jobs gave them the opportunity to work from home or to stay at home. I was given that opportunity as of last Friday from my school. Today is now Sunday, and actually, Happy Resurrection Sunday! In America, it is Easter as well, so now double Happy Easter. Unfortunately, it's not a really big thing here, so I won't be dyeing any eggs or anything like that. I will be watching my back home church service when it airs Monday my time, so I will be doing that tomorrow. But anyways, so yesterday when I went to the eye doctor, I thought since I was downtown and I don't really want to go downtown anytime soon, I would stop by the craft store and pick up some more supplies to make masks. Now, I know there's a lot of debate as to whether masks are useful, whether we should wear them or we should not. Masks have already been a big part of Japanese culture where people wear them when they're sick as a courtesy. I've seen a definite increase in mask wearing as of late, but the problem is they're all sold out everywhere. Maybe the other day I saw one store had a long line because they got a shipment of them, but by the time I passed by that area, they had already distributed all of their supply of masks, so there wasn't even a chance for me to get a mask. My school gave us 2 that we were able to use during the leaving ceremony and the opening ceremony if we chose. I noticed more and more people are actually wearing masks that they created. So last night I did like a test run of making a mask. I'm not finished with it, but my friend, who's also really big into sewing, gave me a pattern to use, and I printed it out at work before we were sent home. And so I just used some of the leftover fabric that I made my sister's yukata with and made a mask. This pattern I really like because it fits nicely over your nose. And it has this little pocket where you can add like a little pipe cleaner or a wire tie or anything so that you can bend it and get it to really conform to the shape of your face, which is really great for glasses wearers. Also made a pocket where you can put a mask in there for extra protection, or I think some people are using paper towels or dried wipes actually. I think I've seen that online. I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to make them. I can put the link to the patterns and the video that I watched in the comments, because there are many tutorials online already, but I just wanted to show what I have so far. Today I've been just cutting from my fabric. I'll probably show a better picture later, but I have a lot of fabric from just little projects of making dice bags for my D&D buddies and just different things. Like I said, we got those. Probably gonna make pencil cases, purses, whatever. So I've been cutting fabric all day, and then I'll be cutting out the shapes for the mask. This one is gonna be for my husband's mask. Got the front pieces, the nose pieces, and then I've cut out so many inner lining pieces. So many pieces. But it's actually been quite nice just watching Netflix and cutting out fabric today. Yeah, this is an example of an inner piece. Probably tomorrow I'll get to sewing them together. I've already had a couple friends ask if I can make masks for them, so I will get to that. But yeah, like I said, I have a lot of fabric, so fortunately I didn't have to buy it, but yesterday when I went to the fabric store, that seemed to be where all the people were. fabric store was crowded, and I've never seen such a long line of people waiting to get their fabric cut. Even the muslin that people are using to line the inside of their, see, I have some, the inside of their mask, they didn't have that sitting out, I think because maybe initially people were just carrying it around the store until they decided to get them cut. So the cutting table had them all in rolls at the very front. Fortunately, my friend had given me some muslin, so I just bought some extra like black fabric and a little bit of extra white fabric to line the inside of these masks. This one I made kind of thick, so I'm gonna test it out and see if I like it like this. I kind of double lined it because this fabric's a little bit see-through. But yeah, I have quite a bit to cut and sew ahead of quite a bit to cut and sew today. With the self-induced quarantine, won't be going out much, but I suspect when we go back to school, it'll probably be a little bit of the culture to wear these masks. I think my school doesn't have a rule about what color, because I noticed a couple of the lady teachers wearing masks that they've made from different cuts of fabric, and so I'm hoping that they will be cool with me wearing things like these penguins. This thing is so cute. And I have pears and sunflowers, and then of course I have some basic colors too that I'll probably I'm definitely gonna make black and white masks just in case my school kind of wants us to have a standardized color, and then maybe leave the fun ones for outside of work. But yeah, quite a bit ahead of me today, quite a bit. Oh, at the fabric store, I also noticed that at the tables where they cut your fabric, they had a big see-through plastic tarp separating them from everyone, from the lines, because I guess they're gonna have to interact with so many people throughout the day. So I think that was pretty smart. I was quite proud of myself because I was able to not only tell them how much fabric I wanted, but ask questions about the fabric and the muslin and things like that in Japanese. So that was kind of cool to not just go about the transaction, but have a conversation about the transaction. Same when I got to the register, I had to ask about an unmarked little packet of scrap fabric that I found. And so I was able to tell them about that, or ask them about that in Japanese. So improvements. And my membership card, my pointo cardo, was helped too. I got some points on the little things that I bought. I already had a lot of fabric, so I really didn't need to buy fabric, but you know, things like the elastic is what I needed, and I needed some more thread, and got a couple of bobbins for my machine. But yeah, I bought this machine not too long after I moved to Japan. It's actually my third sewing machine, 2 are in the States, 1 here, but by far this is my favorite sewing machine, so I really can't wait to get started. I hear my husband. I guess he's not streaming. But yeah, show you how it turns out. Bye. Getting pretty good at these masks. So today is day 6 of work from home. Oh, it's been a long, busy week. Been making a lot of PowerPoints, doing a lot of research for the classes that I'm going to teach, refreshing myself on different type of academic writing styles. I haven't made a video for a while because each day's just been working at home, then after Netflix and sewing, or you know, just watching TV, movies with the husband, just basically relaxing, something that I need to do more, and I'm glad that I have the time for. So I've made quite a few masks for myself and my husband. A couple of friends have asked for masks, so I've worked on a couple of theirs. I have many more to go. Getting a little better at it. This one took me about, I guess they're averaging me about 30 minutes a mask if I don't have any problems. Had a couple of glitches with this one, but I'm liking how it turned out. I prefer using the black background because the black stitching doesn't show up as much. but well, this one worked. Might need to stop at the Combini quite soon, so I'm gonna wear this mask, but I have my roleplay game tonight. Going to be playing my half elf sorcerer character with my friends. We are going to use Discord and the Roll20 websites to play, since we are social distancing and not meeting at each other's houses for the time being. So I'm grateful that we get to still play. It's just, some of the fun and some of the, casual chillness is lost when we do these things online, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So I'm gonna spend maybe a couple more hours making masks, just sewing, because it's nice and relaxing to do. Oh, I finally found these little wires that I can put in the mask, this little nose part. Slide it in there, the size, and then you can bend your mask to shape, and then it sits on your nose a lot better that way. So actually, I haven't tested it outside, but I noticed when I had to go to the grocery store the other day and I wore my mask, it kept sliding down my face just a little bit. So I think a combination of this wire plus adjusting the straps to a better fit will be better in the long run. So yeah, I'm gonna sew, then look over my character sheet a little bit. We're supposed to think a little bit of our backstory of what our characters have been doing during our rest time, because we took last week off. And so what our characters were doing during that rest time. So yeah, tonight, sewing, Dungeons and Dragons, and just enjoying Friday, because tomorrow's the weekend. I'm excited for the weekend. Not as much as if I had to go into work every day, but I'm excited for the weekend. Tomorrow I'm actually playing another play game. My husband is going to online GM Starfinder, which, if you know anything about Pathfinder and D&D, it's similar except for it's set in space. So kind of think adventure game plus space, lots of fun. I really enjoy anytime he runs a campaign. Might be a little biased, but everyone seems to have fun. So yeah, gonna go sew. Probably put together a little video of me sewing more masks. So enjoy. Have a good weekend. So a couple of my friends have requested a fabric mask. I had quite a bit of fabric lying around, so I told them I'd make them for them. Right now I'm off to deliver it to their apartments. Fortunately, we all live very close by, so I don't have to get on the train or anything, just walk on over. Unfortunately, it's raining, but in an effort to still maintain some distance, I have them in bags, and I will just leave the bag on their door, and then they can just collect their mask. Hopefully they like them. This is a new one that I just made last night while watching TV. Gonna make quite a few more just because I enjoy sewing, and it's something that can be easily done. Only takes me about maybe 30 minutes to make each mask if I don't mess up any of the sewing. Yeah, not perfect, but it works.